curious what you think as a former which is what he's been has been more of a
Call to order. Our first item of business is the minutes from the March 13th meeting. Did you guys have a chance to look at those and see if there's anything awry?
It looks good.
Okay, we will accept them as presented and move on. Next item, tabulation of the remake ballots.
So we remade 3 ballots yesterday, 2 that were Uakava instant runoff ballots, and 1 was a DS200 ballot that was rejected. So we'll go ahead and tabulate those. They won't change the outcome
Yeah.
of the rate.
I didn't get my coffee this morning.
Oh.
I'm kind of going,
We have to
Yeah.
kind of reach over,
slap me. Yeah. That would be good.
pat you on the shoulder or something.
Really.
And for the commission, Renee looked at this yesterday, but when we remade this one, we feel like that is marked out and the intent is for that one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. And so, and then that's how we voted that particular ballot. This is why the DS200 rejected it.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
No spider marks on your ballot. Not allowed.
I know, I keep thinking that somebody's
Mhm.
knocking on the door.
Mm.
Red to print your lines, but you'll have
Oh.
to sign it.
Okay.
Oh.
I hear it. Perfect. Ballot anywhere?
Yeah,
Which,
The ballot style next to you?
which school is this one?
it's not for school, it's for the libraries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You need one with one or do you?
That
have
is
all
so
ones on
cool.
it? Yeah, yeah. You get to sign it too.
Hmm.
Is that the one for the remake with
The
the head
remix
bulb?
from Just Will Not Stay Flat.
I have a paper clip.
I'm gonna fold it up, I don't remember what we're not bagging.
You show for stealing paper clips.
No, there was a whole thing of them the other night. I just didn't.
You noticed she didn't put them out today.
So what is this,
You're gonna have an election books.
Oh, excuse me.
Charlie May's Final Award?
Which I'm not familiar.
It's a national award for books, and apparently the library vote on them, the kids vote on them, and the Farmington Library asked if we would do a little ballot for them and then actually come and talk to them about elections. So,
That's a good
yeah,
idea.
so.
I love that.
Good PR.
Do you want us to go with you or do you need somebody with you? Would you like us to tag
If
along?
you want to, it's May the 21st. It's like in the afternoon,
Mm.
but we'll take an express boat up there and let them, and then they asked me to talk about elections and let the kids vote and stuff. So, yeah, so,
It's gonna be a one day only though.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just for an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Do you guys like play with different fonts and sizing?
Not so much on that, really on this one, it was more about getting the layout of the ballot to flow because this was the most candidates we have ever put in one race
Yeah.
that you could vote on. So it took a minute to figure out how to get it to flow. So, yeah.
I like the fact that you guys like, hey, if this ever were to happen, we know how to do
We
it.
know.
Yeah, there
We know how to do
If
it.
you get 20 somewhat candidates or however many are on there.
God forbid.
Yeah. But also we can add images to the
I love
express
the
vote. So if
images.
you ever, like, if it ever got to where you wanted to put candidate pictures on
I
a
don't
ballot,
think we need to do that.
you can't by law,
Okay.
but in theory you could.
Yeah.
So,
Little
yeah.
emojis.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're out of hand here.
really,
Shirley.
sorry, we're moving on. Okay, provisional ballot review.
So we had 9 provisional ballots cast, and you've got the list of those that were cast. The first one was, this was confusing for both staff and also, well, our poll workers, and then of course in the clerk's office. This first one, the voter voted a nonpartisan ballot, but was registered as a Democrat. So, which in essence, they should have changed their party affiliation and her vote a regular ballot. However, they did vote her, which that's the important thing, is that she was able to vote a ballot. So she voted a provisional ballot, and so hers would be a yes that we can count because she did not vote in the Democratic primary. She voted nonpartisan as a registered Dem, and she did fill out a party affiliation change.
Mm.
So we have all of that. So that first one would be a yes. And so if the commission agrees, then this would be the paperwork for the commission to sign this. It would be the sign here underneath. But that, if the commission agrees that that would be a yes.
Signatures or initials and all
This-
three.
Signature of one, yeah. And this is, like I said, the first primary runoff where that being registered as a Democrat had that impact. So,
What was the impact? Explain it to me again.
so she voted a nonpartisan ballot in the
In the primary.
March 3rd election, which meant she was eligible to vote in the runoff. But because she was a registered Democrat in our poll books, she showed up as not participating. So in the poll book, unless you get the clerk to make the changes, you can only issue a provisional. And that's what the poll worker did. So they followed through and they made sure that she did get to vote. And then once Becky confirmed that she did not vote a Democratic ballot, then that means that this ballot is eligible to be counted.
Just on this page.
Yeah,
So
or
it's almost
on
gonna sign.
on the other one. Yeah. That one right there. That's got Becky's signature on it and her notes.
All three, or just one?
Just one is fine, yeah. Then the next 7 are individuals who voted a Democratic ballot in the primary, but came in to vote. We call and confirm with the clerk's office, did they vote or did they not? But we don't want to put our supervisors in a position to argue with the voter because we could have made a mistake in paperwork. There could have been any number of mistakes made that might, mean that, yeah, maybe they didn't take a Democratic ballot. So, but for those, these would all be no's unless they come to the hearing to present
Oh.
evidence on why they think their ballot should count. So there are 7 of those. On this one, you would mark no, and then the commission would sign, and then you would sign this second page too. But all of these, the clerk confirmed that they did take a Democratic ballot in the primary.
Conquer you.
Yep,
Sure.
and there are 7 of those.
So you get 4 and she gets 3.
And I'm hearing is that no work for Jim.
You get 3 and we get 2 each. How about that?
Alexis, if you'll sign the second page behind that too.
I was working on my signature.
Ah, yes.
We've all gotten very conscious of our signature like that.
Not me.
And Jim.
79 into this month. I'm already broken in and trained.
Big plans? We got a party on Dixon Street. Do we?
What's your birthday again? April what?
30th.
And then we will mail out letters today to these individuals to let them know that their ballot did not count and they can attend the hearing. We did get a couple of phone calls from voters who are confused about how the primary works and
Yeah.
that why couldn't they vote in the runoff election? And so,
Well, I think that there was some confusion, especially because the Republican Party kind of changed their way of doing it. And everybody was like, well, this is gonna mean something different than
Yeah.
it did.
I don't think it was intended to, create fraud.
No, no, no,
So,
no.
I don't think,
No,
I think there was just a lot of not understanding because it's the first time we've done it.
yeah, yeah.
Through an
Twenty
election.
22 was the last primary runoff we've had. So if you think about it,
Yeah.
that's, several elections back. And some people thought too that this was a brand new election.
Oh,
That,
really?
and so, and then that they were confused. Why couldn't they vote
Mhm.
in it? And so, yeah, so. And then this last one, this individual is not registered to vote. They registered to vote at the DMV on 3/20, which was past the deadline. So this one would not be eligible to be counted.
No, but I appreciate you taking the time to look at the ones earlier from the last batch, just to make sure they didn't have a split ballot or they abandoned it or something.
Yeah.
That, I think that was the right move.
Well, and it helps too that we have the voting system that we have. When we first started and you had the books and you relied on the poll worker to write a D, an N, P, or an R next to their name. And then if they spoiled it, then they had to go back into the book and change it.
Right.
And I can remember when we first started, sometimes it was hard to read the poll workers. Was it a R? Was it a D? And so you relied on like their handwriting and everything. So the books make it so easy. And the fact that we spoil every ballot out of the book means that it updates immediately
Right,
which
yeah.
ballot that they took. So, if the commission would agree or think, we can go ahead and add in the
Right now, you
one
mean?
provisional
Yeah.
that is eligible to be counted. And this is our results from election night.
There's only one, it's the same.
Let's make sure.
Thank you.
Got all the right stuff.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that we could, on those reports columns,
Yeah.
you can either
Yeah.
include it or not include it. And I totally forgot about that.
Do we need to initial?
If you'll initial that one shows what our start is.
Flying. Start.
He's looking at you. He's the one.
If I had something to swat it, I would.
You ever seen those air guns?
Oh,
that
yes.
shoot salt?
Yes, Denny has one in the garage.
My son has one.
Oh,
There is salt all over the house.
that's what I don't like about him. It's like, no, thank you. An
But
old fashioned fly swatter will work for me.
You like to see them, please.
No, I don't. I just like to see them dead. Here we are, talking flies.
well, it's better than you getting a fly swatter and hitting Jim.
You
That's
start.
true. I don't want to do that.
Not sure it'd be the first time.
Are we signing in this election, Judge?
Yes, you have lines this time.
Okay. I don't know that these pens work very well on the this kind of paper, but we'll see.
Normal paper, whatever.
Does it have to be blue?
No.
Don't go by the bank rules.
Hmm,
No, for original documents, easier when it's blue ink.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's why when I was working at Arvez, you had to write anything that was legal and important in blue.
And now I'm just stuck in
Because
my,
you could tell if it was original or not.
now with everything photocopy machines,
Mhm.
it's harder to tell, but I'm still stuck with my habits. Yeah, I like this one better. It's a black Sharpie.
Oh, okay.
It's over there.
And then we do have 3 absentees where they did not include ID. Those would be considered provisional, but I
I
don't
mean,
suspect we'll.
But they still
They have
time
until Monday at 4:30 at noon.
at noon.
Yes.
So that's all we have hanging out for making this official.
So in essence, you would have these
Oh, Right,
7
they'd
if
have the
they,
opportunity.
if they had evidence to show that they didn't vote a Democratic ballot.
Yeah.
And then 3 absentees with no IDs. And then, and there's no overseas or
Right.
anything like that.
We're getting close to the finish line.
And we can, if the commission is in agreement, instead of certifying on Friday at 5:30, we could certify on Thursday at 9 after our provisional ballot hearing.
Okay,
Love that.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. We'll let Jim retire early.
Only by a day.
Oh, you don't need one.
Oh, I'll get Alexis. Yeah.
Only by one day,
It's something.
one day at a time.
That's
sweet.
right.
Mhm.
Right. Other business.
The only other business is the, just as a add-on, the I voted sticker. This would kind of where I've started with it, but it has the rules. If I did change up that we would have 2 categories, elementary and middle school. So that would be kindergarten to 8th grade, and then high school, 9th grade to 12th grade. So in essence, we would select 2 winners for this. I also did not say how many we would select as finalists, because
Oh,
last time we said we were going to do
yes.
3 and we had so many amazing ones.
It was hard.
5 or 6.
We did. So I took out the number that we would select. So that way, if there's so many, we can add them into
Yeah.
the count, you
Yeah.
know. And then I changed the deadline for the winner to be announced on June 26th. So that would be the Friday before the week of 4th of July.
Okay.
So, and we've got a little bit of time. I'm going to meet with the libraries, like I said, the 2 weeks from now, to kind of talk about maybe there's something we all can do in conjunction, do some type of little event here or something along those lines. So I'll narrow that down. But this would be essentially the packet we would send out as the entry.
Can I make a suggestion though?
Yeah.
So on the winning artwork will be used during the 2026 general election,
Oh.
future elections.
Yep.
Can we also add materials? Because I love the fact that you
yes.
use this.
Yes.
I like that idea that not only it may be used
Mhm.
at the polling sites, but our training manuals, we use it
We
everywhere.
did, and I think in the consent, it says that we have, yeah, but yes, I will add materials and social media and that sort of thing. So yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted to be clear so that
Yeah.
parents
Colors
knew-
everything.
Yeah.
And our winners' parents came in and voted during the primary, they voted at the courthouse. And so it was still exciting for, to be able to give the sticker, that their
Yeah.
daughter had designed and all of that. So, yeah. So, and we will continue to use the I voted sticker that we currently have
Mhm.
until we're out of them. So
Sure.
it's possible when we get to the general election, there may be 3 options of stickers, which will be kind of
Yeah.
fun. So yeah, so,
Take your pick.
yep.
I love that.
Okay,
And
this looks
then
great.
in the how, in person, by mail and by email, should we just add that? It just says email. Cause they can submit it to you by email, a JPEG, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And do we want to put, in what format on here, or no, is that too much?
Is that on the?
No, well, if they send it to us as a PDF, we can transfer the PDF into a JPEG.
Okay,
So yeah, and
Okay.
because that's what we had to do, because most of the applications we got last time were all on this. And so we scan and then put it into a PDF and then we changed it into a JPEG. So it does not have to come to us as a JPEG.
okay.
So yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I love it. It's such a great idea. It's a great way to get youth involved and their parents too. It's 2 for
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have anything in here? I haven't looked closely. Do we have anything in here about the 250 celebration?
We don't, and I didn't quite know how to incorporate that other than kind of in our media and like the event
Yeah.
that we did because and I may go back and look. Of course, I'm always going to look and see what someone
Other
else
people.
did.
Yeah.
And I looked at other counties or states that have started their I voted sticker contest
Mhm.
and they have tied it into the 4th of July. But in their materials,
They don't mention it.
they don't, because I think it makes it too hard to try and design a sticker that's
Right.
just the 4th of July. So they kind of just said, hey, this is a celebration of the 4th of July and voting was kind
Okay.
of, and so I didn't do it particularly in the materials.
Well, I was thinking you could do that, but at the same time, it might make it, people would feel too restricted
Mhm.
by that. So not mentioning a theme is probably
Yeah.
the better idea.
And
If
just
somebody wants to, they can.
right. And I think sticking with that it has to say I voted on it. That's the criteria. But if you see all the different ones that we got, they're all so, red, white, and blue and all of that sort of thing. So yeah.
So that'll be on top of us.
It will be. We'll start, like I said, after the meeting with the librarians, and we'll start to get it a little bit more coordinated and out there. But I'll go ahead and start pushing the information out.
And the boxes at the libraries, are those, what, is it just a general box?
No, so what we do is we take our ballot boxes there and then we, like how that one has that front on it, you'll see it'll be a page that looks similar to this, but it says insert your form here. So it's all done up and everything. And then we take a little stand with the information on it, and then we have forms, a way for them to put them. So yeah. So, but it is really clear, the boxes that we take out. Yeah.
It's a booklet together, right?
It is, and I've debated on whether to staple it or to not staple it. We can't, I think we may staple it. And the way I did it was, this is the last page, which means that when it comes into us, we can tear it off.
Love that.
And that way we can scan it in. So I probably will staple it. This one is stapled, so you can
I
kind
would
of
do
see the
that.
difference,
But
but yeah.
bound to lose a page.
Well, yeah, and that, because we've got to have the consent forms because they're minors.
No, I love that. It's very clear as day here, but it's also,
The legalese part of it, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's great. What other business?
Then just this one,
Oh, yes.
which you guys looked at, but
Right.
we're going to, like I said, after my meeting with the library, This is just the Farmington Library that reached out to me, but all libraries will be voting on this. So we may try and coordinate and see, because even if we don't personally get to visit with every library wants to arrange that, we can print actual physical ballots that they could pass out to the students for the students to vote at their library. So we wouldn't necessarily have to be there to take the express vote, but because we can print ballots in-house, we can print ballots that they can vote on and then use those in their materials. And the back page is the sample of what the paper ballot would look like.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You didn't have any entries last year that were missing the consent form?
We had one, but it wasn't that they were missing the consent form. It had failure to get it signed, but we tracked them down and got them to email it back to us. And then we might have had one or two other ones where they just picked it up at the library, colored it, and then just put it in there. So, yeah. So,
I'm trying not to create more work for you. Well,
yeah.
Just simple.
This is such a great idea. Yeah. People filling out all the forms, and
Right.
all the spots, signing where they're supposed to. Yeah, totally simple.
Yeah.
Hence why we have provisional ballot hearings.
So, yeah. So,
Well, those are good.
It'd be great to do this at the school. Could you imagine the amount of work that was?
yes. So this is why we're going through the libraries. Yeah. I think
And this may even get out of hand.
it might, but we are doing this well. When we did it last time, we
Right.
did it on the heel, like we did the ballot draw and announced the winner.
Yeah.
So we were like scrambling. This is our summer project that gives us,
More
breathing
time.
space. So even if we were inundated with hundreds of applications, it gives us a little
Right,
time
yeah.
to process.
Do you advertise them at school? Do you advertise it's being done at school?
Probably what we will do, because when we did it last time, school wasn't in session, but we will most likely put out something to the school districts.
So I can put it
Yeah.
on the bulletin board or something.
The last week of school.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually a good project because at the
Mhm.
end of the school year,
Mhm.
they do so many wasted hours of, let's watch this movie or whatever. And I'll probably get feedback on that. But it's something that is actually focused, and the children can, get into it.
Yeah, but they would still have to get consent from their
Right,
parents.
right.
So it couldn't just be a project that the teacher does in class. They would have
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
get send it home with the students, and then the students have
But
to bring
that's
back
where-
consent.
That's
So-
where you get all the involvement, if there is involvement.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the entry does not
Yeah.
fit.
Yep.
Okay, other business? Anything, anybody?
When,
We are, what? go
oh,
ahead.
sorry, what's the dates on this? Do we know yet?
That I believe is May 21st, and I believe it's in the afternoon at like 3, but
I meant
I'll,
The election time, and how long ago, do you know?
I don't know. I just know that from the email that I got originally, it says they do it in the month of May. So we picked a day for me to go to that library. That's why I'm saying it's possible we may end up going to other
Others.
libraries in May. The Farmington Library has basically an after-school type program. That's what they've asked me to come to, because they were going to be voting on the books and to talk about voting. And that's when I was like, we could do your ballot. And so, so we combined it with that.
Have they seen it yet?
No, we haven't shared it with them
Oh,
yet. So, yeah. So I'm sure the Farmington librarian will be here on the 15th.
Oh,
So,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
So we were going to share it with all of them then.
Okay.
No,
All
this is
right.
great. I'll look for it.
So, any other business?